I would have assumed that our worst girls weren't the only group of the scouts that producing queer eldritch polycules instead of good compliant conformists, and it presumably hit a point where the controlling authorities were like, well, that's not what we wanted, cancel that. X exist in the 80s, smartphones could too. How come Neptune gets signal out there? Can we talk about that? How the fuck does she get signal? Neptune, after becoming the devil, texting her friends, hey, you never guess what'll happen. Idiot heart jerk face is secretly Saturn the whole time. Oh my god, we're blowing it wide open. Good game design is when I like a game, and bad game design is when I don't like a game. Me with ukulele. Hey gamers! Welcome back to space, where we will be staying. We're not going back to Earth. We're playing more Heaven Will Be Mine, we're playing more Lunaterra, and we're gonna get chewed up our Europa. Or something. Okay, I'm just making sure. That one killed you? It's so good! I like women with shoulders. Get along better or worse than back then? Let's talk about something. Oh, is it really so bad these days? We're gonna get what by Europa? Oh, you heard me. Don't get like each other. We used to be so different. What happened? I got older, but that's enough to make. You're not giving credit. Really? Do you think I'd be good at seamless? Well, I'd always hoped. I'd blame you. Felt like there's nothing to blame you. Nothing you warned me about turned out like you said, so I stopped paying attention to any of your advice. I thought I was too smart like for the rest. So it's just a coincidence we ended up like each other. I never minded your lessons. Are you sure? I was a harsh teacher. Are you really glad for it? I am happy for everything I learned. Not for everything you taught me. I mean, it wasn't like you were wrong. Everything you said would happen, happened. But none of it happened like you said it would. If I followed your advice to the letter, it would have helped me. It wouldn't have helped me at all. It was all just different enough. So I came up with my own answers. It wasn't until I looked back on them that I realized it was exactly what you would have done. Fair, I suppose. I should count that as success for me. Sucky for her. Gentlemen! I'm going to show you today how I doubled my income in less than 3 weeks. Allow me to present the keys to suckies. I can't do this on stream. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Sorry, thinking about it fucking kills me. Einstein, Beyonce, you and me. We all get the same 24 whores a day. I broke myself. I fucking did it. Oh my god. But also, due to your effort, for you. That's just what I wanted. I certainly never wanted a carbon copy of me. I wanted you to improve on what you've been handed. Did a good job. Shouldn't you be asking yourself that question, since you're the one in charge of education? I was afraid you'd say. Don't come to me now, of all times. Well, at least there's plenty of time left for me to turn out right in the end. Did I do the mail last time? The Hallmeter report? On Dr. Nix? What a stream. You spelled TikTok wrong. It's okay, you're old. I don't remember what it originally is on, because I first saw it on Tumblr, so... Okay. Pluto time? Pluto time? Look at me. The Cold War is long over. The existential threat is gone, but its memories still stir here, at the observatory. Will it be put to rest here, or buried forever? I can't believe I have to wait to play, Pluto again to get the, like, really fun ending here. The one that I thought I made up because, or the one I thought that was made up and I missed because I kept seeing screenshots of it on Twitter and Tumblr. I'm just like, did I miss when this happened? I don't think I did. You're quiet, whoa, where is this? That's not Lunaterra. You're quiet, Europa. What's up? Is that unusual? Sometimes. But you said I have a briefing for you 5 minutes ago. Uh-huh. It seems I've lost track of time again. But don't you already know what is? Close the lens, and prevents Cradle's graces from further. For the purpose of... Who knows? Memorial Foundation on the ground wants it done. There is a Lunaterra scene with them, like, being younger that I, like, saw screenshots of, and I was like, I don't remember this. But I did both of them, so... Yeah, the baby Pluto ones. I definitely remember them happening, but I also don't... I don't know. I guess I just want to see it again. And I will! I just have to get through tonight and do it next week. Or the week after? We'll see. Oh. Remind me near the end to ask about the Unity ending. Because I want to... Well, I can just ask it now. Are there differences between characters for that, or is it just the same for all of them? It was the observation device for existential threats, but in the end, we never knew if what we were... But what was there, what there was, or if we, the observers, were seeing what... When it became clear that celestial mechanics had been pushing development in the direction of things that they did not themselves understand, we chose to destroy that colony. Okay, no differences for the balance room. Good. Cool. Thanks. Perfect. So I don't have to do it 3 times. Just with Saturn. That's fine. Later works of the space colony era showed signs of an art and design movement potentially hazardous and implicitly treacherous to the human race. But very lovely. Wish we hadn't caught on so quick. I love how Europa is just like, man, I really wish that war hadn't happened, but also it was my entire job. Memorial Foundation on Earth would be loath to admit it, but it's possible it did, and does in fact work in one or more ways. Casts it all in a new light, doesn't it? Didn't expect you to feel so nostalgic. I have some happy memories of the Academy, don't you? Yes. Some. But I'd rather move forward in any way at all than keep dwelling. That's always a virtue if you have learned from it. I miss the gay bars. Why did me and my neolib cop friends have to shut them all down? In real time today, I watched a friend go, Lily, you can't call Halamede the pillow princess of space neoliberalism. That doesn't mean anything. Those words don't mean anything together. To, oh, it makes perfect sense to me now. In about 10 minutes, it was great. She just had to scroll down Hallie's Twitter account. You can and you should. Well, good, because I do. It was really funny. Which tweet was it? I don't remember. It was the one about, it was the one that was about, like, cultural appropriation or something. She was like, Lily, those words mean things. And I'm like, no, actually, it fits perfectly. And Laura was like, no, actually, she's right. Really funny. And you're just not just trying to forget. Your advice to the mission and no. Well, I only have an interest in the success of one of those two things. Gate collapses in nostalgia and disaster. This sort of fight you don't need a robot for. The observatory's lens, a single eye, staring into space, threatening to blink. From the Academy Gardens, every pilot remembers watching the observatory twitch as it focused on some light years away point, searching. A reminder of the battle for Earth that they were eternally preparing for. Not unsettling, but always foreboding. A zero pointed at nowhere. Neither Lunaterra nor Pluto remembers who first called it that. Now, in the trembling of the colony's collapsing gravity well, this deck of a wrecked colony where Lunaterra and Pluto meet seemed like a moment frozen in time, eternally recreating, growing always distant, yet never. I knew I'd find you here. It would feel like this. But I'm still here. I have orders. I know, dummy. They tell me everything too. You wouldn't have come if you weren't ordered. Tell me as well. I believe in Memorial Foundation. They're the only way. And Europa's just, I don't give a single fuck about the mission. Just do whatever's best for you. Yeah, that's because Europa is dad-coded. The only good dad is a lesbian dad. Like, it feels like Europa would have just straight up followed Nyx if she wasn't already so deep in Memorial Foundation, you know? Like, she's kind of the... For her, like, sibling to be so high up in Memorial Foundation's leadership that both of their daughters are, like, basically first in line to be leading the entire organization, like, it kind of feels like she's just trapped there and, you know, doesn't care enough to leave her cushy job, but also doesn't give a single shit about what she's supposed to be working for. Like, I feel like she would have just followed Nyx if she could, but maybe I'm reading that wrong. I don't know why everyone is expecting I'll be bitter about the coming back. I'm not. There's good and bad memory. That's fine. That's fair. I'm older now. It's so much sweeter thinking about the past from... It's there and I'm here. I wouldn't go back. Would you? Be a very funny parallel if Europa and Nyx were a mirror of LT Pluto. Europa staying with Memorial Foundation intentionally to give the rebels just enough time for a fighting chance. I could see that. Yeah. I I like being an adult. I don't mind being the aging ace. I don't need to be a glittering hero. We fought so hard against the existential threat during the Cold War. Something 30-year-old trans women being ancient. Girl, you're not that old. I'm ancient. You are not! God, I need the baby kids to realize that you don't die as soon as you turn 26. Lunatera, like, I'm an aging ace, I'm a Christmas cake past her sell-by date. Call Lunatera a fruitcake because she's gay and there's so many nuts in her. Sorry. Terrible. You're right. I know I'm right. Why did you? I'm glad that everyone appreciates garbage. Oh my god. Oh man. The last time I had a fruitcake, it was soaked in so much vodka, I couldn't... It was not palatable. Like, it made me gag just from the fumes coming off. I couldn't eat it. It was so rich and so alcoholic that it was just too much for me. But also, now I'm thinking about rum cake. Oh. I made Julia rum cakes for one of her birthday sometime. They were really good. Oh! It was 2020 because it was the pandemic and we met in the botanical gardens in the middle of December and ate cake and walked around and it was really fucking cold. Fruitcake soaked in vodka is more Saturn. True. Those were good. Those were really good. I should make those again. I don't get to make a cake for her birthday this year. That's fine. The last year's was not good. How come? Hold on, if I'm not ancient, then how come I undergo primal reversion in fire typing when I'm brought in contact with the red orb? Hmm? Oh, Europa. Yeah, she knows pretty well. That's very fair. Lorelei, I think you might want to get that checked out because you might, be being corrupted by a primeval entity that I don't like. I'm a Kyogre girl. I'm sorry to everyone, but Big Fish owns my brain. I know it's a whale. Wait. Yeah, it's a whale. Big whale. I am in the pocket of Big Whale. Makes me sound like I pull gotcha for people. It's okay, whales are big. That's not what you said this morning when you were talking about which whales you wanted to eat. Groudon is also a fish. I see, I'm taking notes. Ugh. Whales didn't count as seafood. Well, if whales didn't count as seafood, then how are they not fish? Ah, Primal Dialga, good. Sorry, I can't go rooting around in my box of games again to pull out Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky, but I have it. Right behind me. I want a new Mystery Dungeon so bad. Like, so bad. We're always thinking. True. No, yes, a good one is the caveat here. We need a good one with a good story. And not to say that Super Mystery Dungeon didn't make me cry. It still made me cry. I just didn't care for the first half of it. I also didn't like that there was only one of each Pokemon. That was the only recruited. That was silly, and I thought it was dumb. And the Salamence thing was annoying. Don't do that. It just made the world feel so much smaller. And it's like, but no. No. Anyway, where were we? Lunatera was saying she's wrong about it. Whatever they were, a trick of the light or not, we fighting them. Tried our best. That's the practice kit. Take a page out of the book of the main series, curate a 400 Pokemon dex, and make out of it. That would be really interesting, actually. I think maybe 500. 400's a lot, though. The problem is, my brain having over 1,000 Pokemon inside it goes, well, 400 isn't that many. Tilda is carrying about 100 mons, don't worry, good. The original Mystery Dungeon series, less cute and fun by version. It's really interesting. I think I've looked it up. There's definitely interesting stuff about it. But yeah, Pokemon carries it way, and that's maybe the nostalgia speak. But you know, yeah, Shiram the Wanderer. Yes, that is. I was looking. But the thing is, it's also good just playing old games and getting to know, like, and seeing where they've been created on stuff. I think that, not to echo the worst people you've ever heard, but like, there is some stuff being lost in Pokemon being designed for a younger audience. Not in that it's too easy, but in that they're not giving kids enough credit. You know? Like, this is the game series that people have learned languages on. This is the game series that people have math with and everything, right? And, like, at a certain point, the less you make people engage with the stuff that allows them to do that, the game becomes because of it. And it's like, you know, kids do deserve, like, good storytelling and good mechanics and games that work well. Someone played the original Digimon World game and it's got a shocking amount of complexity, depth, and weirdness to it, and it's good. Yeah! Yeah, absolutely. Like, I don't know, like, you can give kids a little more credit because they're smart. Kids are fucking smart and don't think about that. Just give them credit. I do think that the messages you get every time you hit an important character's Pokemon with something super effective, or or crit is. I like seeing what everyone does for. That's a really fun little addition. A lot. Yeah, that is just how it goes. That's the microphone being crappy. I don't know. I don't know if it's like time for me to get a new microphone or something, or the mixer got fucked with too much. And I have no idea how to fix it. I truly have no clue. But thank you for bringing it to my attention. I do appreciate it. Okay. Let's talk more about Pokemon when I'm playing Pokemon today. Let's talk more about the gay transgender robot sex. Now we're grown up. Can see our own future. Mess them up. Way happier to fight now. Fighting has a different meaning now. No matter how bad I am at being, I like it now. Ow! You're really grown up now. I hate it. I miss pushing you around and go along. You too. You still have a hard time making a decision that's good for you all by yourself, though. That's why I asked for orders to come. That's so roundabout. I can't tell if that's a step forward or back. Damn, so I can't call you baby girl anymore? Pluto, apparently. I think it would be worse if anyone else shut the observation. So I thought it would have to be a 0 pointing nowhere. Do you remember who said that? Better than the actual. I don't remember who said it, but I always think of it. I don't remember either. We have to do this. You're the one who's here to do it. You're really easy. You're the one forcing my hand. Closing it is just a formality. It's already broken and it never worked in the first place. What if it was Neith who said that? I guess I'd remember if it was Neith. Then why? Whoa. Then why were you ordered to do it? The fact you're here means I have to be here. They want any possibility closed. Every possibility closed. That's not harmony. These futures should get to live even if they never come to pass. If trying to make worlds in space is naive, cutting the native sphere off from the universe is just as naive. It's so pathetic and sad. It's even more pointless and sad than human beings fighting each other for no reason. I can't bear it. I won't let it happen. I changed my mind. Let's fight. I'd rather fight than keep talking like... We're fighting now. This is the sort of fight ship cells were made for. Pluto's so right for calling her nearly a decade older girlfriend a baby girl. Yeah, she is so right for that. Say something. I can't. I have nothing. Let's fight like we're supposed to. I won't. Don't make me talk. Don't make me fight with you. Don't make me kill your dream. Stop having this dream. Give up on space like the rest of the human race has. Let me close the iris of the observatory. It's because I wanted so much to see what the eye was supposed to see that I can't let you keep looking. That I can't keep looking. That I don't want us to be tortured with that possibility anymore. That we can't lose you. Emotional vulnerability is hard. Please just beat me into the ground. Lunaterra, failing? Therapy. It's so true. She's not good at... Being vulnerable hurts. And being afraid of that pain is real and it sucks and it's scary, but, you know... I heard it's a mortifying ordeal. Also the echoes of, can we talk about politics instead? Lunaterra just hates talking about feelings because she has so many feelings and she doesn't want them. Big fucking... Do you think Luna Terra's on Empty Spaces Tumblr? She is a mech pilot, and she does have the amazing finger blasting technique piloting skill. No, but Saturn would show it to her a month into their relationship. Yeah. Yeah. Saturn's definitely on there. Oh my god. Where the bratty mech pilot? Not on the first date. No, they have to fuck on the first date. They either have to fuck or fight each other, or like try and kill each other on the first date. The vulnerability comes after, please. You can fuck and show people things on your phone. That's true, I guess. Feel how scared you are, and how brave, and how much you love. I'm so mad at you. Why can't you believe like you did before? They brought us up with good intentions. And did everything they could. They really did. They really thought we could be better than who we were. The best kind of human beings there could be. They worked us very hard, but they fought for us to be exactly what we wanted to be. Because that was human. Even when it was hard or didn't make sense, they found a way. First date, they end up making out in a supply closet, half because Saturn's a brat, and half because she genuinely still a little bit mad about not being one of those girls. Oh my god. I love Saturn! Even the awful ones really believe. One humanity, every story threaded together, no one left behind. It would be really possible to fix the universe and let humans live forever in space. Childish dreams that everyone wishes could be true. All without understanding such simple things. I wonder how they expected the night human aliens found us so alien. It will always be our own existential threat. Every human understood that but them. No wonder Earth rejected us. The observation deck sees nothing. The threat is on the other side. We are each other's alien. It was flawed and it wasn't real, but they weren't that stupid. And you know they weren't. The whole point was that it wasn't real yet, and it could be. That's what they wanted to do. They wanted to make it real. And now they don't anymore. Do you? I mean, really? Do you want to go home too? Why can't you just say yes? I wouldn't mind if you actually wanted it. I would go with you if you'd wanted it. But I'm not coming with you if you don't. I'll still fight. Thank you. I'm hoping you win, but if you can't, I will promise this. I won't bring us back to Earth empty. I'll do that if I die. The iris shifts. It still moves somehow, attuned to possibility. Mericrysium is looking fit to kill if it wasn't trembling. This colony is a place of unsteady gravity. You're not on sure footing here. I'm back to being helpless again, like I used to be. You can stop me at any time. Prove you're ready to close this eye. I can't. I can't. I don't accept it, but that doesn't mean I won't do it. I don't care if you love me. One way or the other. Space is broken, but I don't want to leave. Earth is terrifying, but I can't go back there alone. I have no loyalty either way. The subtitles are making implications. Auntie-handed is when Europa... No, I shan't say it. Hi! Huh? You wanna come sit on my lap? Cheers. Now when you grab that, you're supposed to let go of it. Sorry. Cat can't. Cat can't. You won't let go. He's so cute. We're going back to Lilyland. Gotta let go of it. Being silly. Okay, back to the other Lunaterra. I'm not strong like you. I just go where gravity takes me. You can hold everyone, but what do I do if I lose you? Your heart is full of everyone, but I can't watch you fight for the universe knowing how little you're thinking of yourself in it. Of course I don't know what to do when fighting for you and fighting your dream are such different things. There's too much to do. Of course I don't know what to do. I don't know what you want. Oh, she's got it in her mouth, biting it. Luna. God, I can't remember the last time you cried. Oh, no, I can. It's when you said you hated it here in space. And I told you, you should go back and I'll come with you. Those were such hard days and you didn't want to keep fighting. But when I said that, you started crying and crying, and I couldn't understand why. It seemed so simple a solution and everything you wanted, and I got so mad. And then you told me you didn't want to leave if it meant me giving anything up. You didn't want to give up anything else either. You didn't want to give anyone else up either. I wasn't expecting that at all. I'm so used to knowing what's on your mind, what's on everyone's mind. I didn't think you could keep something so locked away and hidden. no matter how far my tides can reach. There's some places I can't ever know until you tell me. It was the first time I felt frustrated by that. I'm most angry at you and I can't do what you want. But I guess that's how you feel about me. And how I feel about you. Oh, baby, you're crying again. I can't let you win. But we'll be together until the end, and after. Day 6. 3 days left. What is the moon drop, Lunatera? Alamede says it was something you used to talk about. Hallie mentioned one. Oh. Yeah. We were thinking about crashing the moon into the Earth. Literally. Yeah, that too in the end. The goal of the space program used to be to make all of the solar system figuratively equivalent to Earth. When humans touch it, it becomes ours. That's why we use the Greek words to identify the physical bodies of space, and the Roman to represent our understanding and incorporation of it. We were being silly, taking a metaphor way too literally and way too far, joking about crushing the solar system together. It would make sense to return it. It would be nice and neat. Killing absolutely everyone. Yeah. It was a horrible thought I shared with Halamede. She hated it, but she kept arguing about it with me. Hallie really is the debate me person. She's such a neolib. The Earth looks so fragile and small here. The moon looks so big. That's probably why. It was a bad joke, and she never thought it was funny. Good. She's very perceptive when it comes to that. I'm surprised always that people can find that self-destructive streak of yours harmless or imperceptible. Why did you put that idea in my brain? Halamede after Lunatera made a really bad joke about doing a war crime. Oh no, Hallie, no. Uh, I'm glad that Iapetus and Halamede don't interact, because that would be bad. Surprised you kept me around, given that. Should I have given up? Ellie may be a little bit wishing that Lunatera would crush the Earth like she crushes on Terra. Maybe a little bit. Baby. Hi. Yeah, come here. Come around. Here. Oh, you want to sit over there? Okay. Should I have given up? Is that a question? You should have followed your instincts. You appear to be misunderstanding. I take my work very seriously. As a leader, a woman, as a pilot, as part of Memorial Foundation. You know that there are very real things Memorial Foundation believes in, and I believe in them too. Yeah. In seeking to bring all people together, however, there are choices that have to be made. Should we cut the world to fit its people, or the people to fit its world? That is what we struggle with the most. Cut does not have to be a bad thing. It can be what's right for you or for the world. Making space for what exists without allowing it to be erased. Those the world abandons die, which is unacceptable. Or they become another world, which is also unacceptable. Kind of violent. Like smashing the Earth into the moon, hoping for togetherness and killing everyone instead. We didn't find the right solution, but at least we knew which was a wrong one. Subject. Regarding Mecha 1, Mercuricium. Ship self-design notes, Dr. Nix. In a ship self, you don't have to worry about dying. Not in the same way. A ship self, you know, isn't even a weapon. It's a body for living and traveling in space, and it is equipped for doing the sorts of things that humans need to do, like fighting. The ship self, which lets you express like it's your own body better than your own body, is a machine that's for falling in love and having fights. It's formed to literally suit us. It bears only the most abstract resemblance to something designed to kill another human being. The most efficient possible form for ending lives as quickly as possible wouldn't look at anything like a human, and that's why Europa designed them from a child's toy. The ship self isn't the perfect form for war. It's a form that by nature turns war into something else. Part of this is due to humanity's relative weakness in space, separated from the origin of our gravity. Even with the power of a tidal reactor, we've barely come close to developing a ship self with gravitational and metacultural authority equivalent to a human beings on Earth. While humans on Earth need to devote most of this authority to keeping their shape, identity, and differentiation from other humans, a ship self is less authoritative than even this. Though in space, they have far fewer restrictions than humans on Earth. If a ship self were to make planetfall, it would be crushed under human pressure and rendered lifeless. Subject. Iapetus evaluation. Operations Decommission Chair, Europa. Ah, no, it's gratifying to know you share my suspicions as well. As I understand that it is the purpose of this committee to prepare for any eventuality, that this particular possibility hadn't crossed your minds was beginning to worry me. Oh, I'm no less worried now, but you're asking how to deal with Iapetus. That sense of superiority he has is not a weakness. It is truly dangerous, not just unpleasant. If he seems gracious or forgiving about a loss, it is only because he is utterly confident he will eventually be able to surpass you. But he's a realistic man. He will find the easiest route. Merely coming out on top in the end is enough. He wouldn't consider the quality of how he got there. In fact, it would reinforce his sense of superiority to know he surpassed you without having to work as hard as he did. Worked as hard as you did. He's shockingly good at predicting others, except for the moments in which he has wildly underestimated one. These fascinate me in particular. He can be so uncanny when it comes to gleaning specifics from trivial behavior, and then he is blindsided by the most obvious conclusions. His lack of respect for interiority is quite stunning. His win rate without having it should appall anyone with a general respect for human beings. This man knows what ethics are, but not why. Europa. God, lack of respect for interiority is so biting. Yeah, well, Saturn voice, I want to be a toy. Ugh. I don't even want to think too hard about how he treated Saturn and Mercury. Like, even past the, like, augmentation. Girl. Fun. Worst person in space with. Oh, you're so cute and fluffy. Come sit in my lap. It'll be nice. Okay. Deeper cuts. In the Garden District, closest to the malfunctioning and broken tidal reactor that kept the colony together. Time and space aren't quite right. It's the perfect place for a real fight. How deep under Lunaterra's skin do you think you can get? Come on, Europa. It's weird when you won't order me. Can't you see I'm hesitating? Show some politeness. It's weird to see you hesitate. You don't do it. Then stop making it weird, if you please. Let a woman be weird for once. I have no problems returning to the colony. I wouldn't have thought you would have more hang-ups than... You have no regrets, no pain at any of your training or service in the war, about anything that happened there, about the people you met there. I don't have any problems returning to the Lagrange colony for this mission. The academy where you shaped us all. No, I'm happy to put it to rest. I was a real idiot, so I don't mind seeing it trashed or trashing it a little more to stop that Celestial Mechanics pilot from taking back the Lagrange reactor. Ah, so you've taken an interest in Saturn. Professionally, she's a dangerous enemy. She was in Iapetus' division, but she was, yes, very clever. The Lagrange reactor is a worthless shard of nostalgia. Iapetus must be truly egomaniacal to send that prototype unit after it. That's a bad sign. The worst fights always happen over something worthless. It certainly is a trap, but you know that. It's still a chance to get one over on him. It's still a chance to get one over on him and stop that pilot if you're prepared to get serious. I'm always serious. Are you serious enough to stop playing? I'm not playing. Whether you're serious or playing isn't a matter of how you feel about it. It's a matter of whether you're committed or not. Or if you're playing because you simply can't decide. You can't play forever. I told you, I still haven't decided. I'm not closing off the future until the last moment. Decide what you want about the future when the future comes. But you will never move from this point if you don't decide how to feel about the pilot. Europa. Oh dear, you are feeling guilty again. Well, that's to be expected. I don't mind if you lose against that one, or win. Just choose, right? You don't have to tell me. I know what happens if I don't. Fight for real in a fun way. A surprise attack isn't very sporting. Don't be jealous just because I got mine off first. You got a wound on me and the Lagrange reactor shell. That not a good enough deal? No way. In fact, apologize. Hiding so I can't surprise you again is so unfair, Lunaterra. Let me bully you some more. I'll pass. Are you sure? You sure you don't want to get bullied? See if you can find me first. You like cat and mouse games, don't you? You want to try it again? I won't let you just play a game this time. You find me even when I'm serious, then I'll get serious. Lunaterra hides in the Garden District, the one part of the colony that she has no memories of. The Garden District doesn't have any trees or flowers or plants. It's not that kind of garden. A garden for the children meant to inherit space. Not like Lunaterra, who came in the first generation. Teenagers too old and too molded by Earth's gravity to inherit the cosmos. The second generation was raised here, in the light of the colony's center, the Lagrange tidal reactor Lunaterra remembers like the sun, with the hope that they would grow freely in the lightest of gravity, free of Earth's weight. Lunaterra is the one holding the useless shell of that reactor now. Even broken and useless, LT doesn't feel comfortable holding it. It's an unpleasant, untrustworthy object, and it feels wrong to hold. It was made by people, but it doesn't seem like it was. It's a fake, but it's unsettlingly close to what celestial mechanics eventually intended to be when they seized control of the reactor before the conflict broke out. Something not made by humans. If it's so useless, why don't you just give it back? Tell what I'm thinking, huh? Or read between the lines? Just like Pluto, but different. Something I still can't understand. You've been playing with her too, haven't you? I sure have. Jealous? Of which one of us, though? Both. I could never read the story like you both. I'm straightforward. That's not even a little true. You're being way too stingy with the narration. Narration? You can't perceive space-time as a story? A narration spun out of the ambient gravity of humans? Telling you everything that is if you can listen? You can't see how obviously your envy is bleeding out in everywhere, can you? I'm slipping, huh? Letting out more than I thought. It's you. Oh. Sorry, I'm yawny. See why I'm jealous? I don't know anything about what you mean. I wish I could speak that language. Yeah, it's amazing. You should really be sad you don't speak it. Just have this absent. Your impression on the narrative is something like spilled whiteout, a gushing ocean of bleach. Which is a pain in the ass for something like us. Someone like us. You also have a habit of acting too fast to get caught up in the story, especially when it's not going your way. 3 times faster than the story knows what to do with. That's how. You are different than Pluto. She would swell into the atmosphere, but you slowly bleed into the spaces between lines. I can feel you seeping through, blurring the lines between one and the other. She would say something like us too, yeah. What is it you're after? Curious? Then stop hiding! The rain-slicked streets are looking more and more the same. The weather is malfunctioning, and the moisture regulator is shot, and the failing gravity is doing strange things, playing strange tricks. Mericrysium's feet are wet. She's afraid. She's falling right into a trap that feels like it's in every direction at once. You can't trick me. Lunaterra dodges at the last second, or was never there. If Saturn bleeds into the narrative, then Lunaterra's trick is having a real habit of interrupting the story just when it's getting good. Good thing she'll never know how much Saturn and Pluto think that's cool. I have eyes too, Lunaterra. Don't think gravity alone is enough. Saturn swipes again. Lunaterra wouldn't be hit by such a thing, but she isn't ready for the dripping, sparkling neurolightning. She misjudges the distance, the unsureness of gravity. Mericrysium sparks and bleeds from her left arm. Lunaterra swings her spear, crushing the string of pearls to the ground. It crumples, then darts away, lost in the mist. Saturn's worst off, but her machine will fix itself, and the poison in Mericrysium's system is only getting worse. You almost got me, but not quite. Is your game off a little today, Lunaterra? I thought you were going to be serious. You're going to have to do a lot better than that if you want to see me serious. You're misunderstanding. I'm going to cheat. You're the one who has to take this seriously. How's that arm feeling? Still sparking? Still gooey? It doesn't take that much, you know. Have you been cleaning your system regularly? What kind of fight are you looking for? A one-sided fight where you try your hardest and still lose? Looking for payback? What? No, who cares about that? It's for you. Because you love getting owned. You're never holding back. There's no way I can beat you. You're even stronger than any story anyone's told about you. You always win and no one touches you. If ship-self fights were life and death, that would make you a genius. But they're not. They're made in the image of plastic toys to fight like plastic toys. So that makes you an idiot for not playing along and being honest. You'll save a lot of time if you give in and say I'm right now. You be it for me for real, that's all the answer you'll need. Stoic to the last, but that's great. Your holding out on me is actually kind of delicious. When's the story gonna tell me what's happening? When are you gonna let me hear about all the static in your joints, the trembling in your mask, your slackening grip? I'm on the edge of my seat waiting to know. Lunaterra knows it's true. Saturn can't sense where she is at all, but she knows immediately that Lunaterra knows she knows. Well, I'm so yawny. Tell me all about that, and I promise, without any hate or fear, I'll listen. You don't believe me, but I promise I won't laugh or hurt you. I can't see you, so you can escape. And if you want, I'll let you keep that little ball even, and the poison will wear off. But I want to see. Do you want to show me? The Mercursium crashes to the ground, skids along the wet streets of the colony. Her legs give out, and her arms are too weak to catch her fall. String of pearls lands gently, surprisingly, but that's what these ships were made to do. They're meant to land gently. Even the electrotoxins are ugly, not painful, in a warm, numbing sort of way, like licking a battery with every part of your body. There's no way that Lunaterra can stand up. As soon as she lets it all in, she falls in a mess, totally defeated. Oh wow, you really did it. You got so quiet. You're so well trained. You're the big strong ace, but you shut down so quickly. You really can't deal with me at all. Why is that? Didn't you say you weren't going to bully me? I'm showing all possible restraint. You really did make it hard. I thought you were kind of cool. You really acted like you knew what you were doing. Even though you were so scared. Leave me alone. Oh no, baby. But you love this. You're looking forward to it. I can see right through you. These ships are meant to touch. If you never lose, you never let anyone in. Thinking of this as losing at all is actually kind of sad. You want to give all this all up and drag me home? Are you really sure? Lunaterra, you really ought not to lie to me as much. This smug, untouchable Lunaterra I used to hate, she's so boring. But the you that doesn't want anyone else to see, that's a much better you. That's the you I want to see. Lunaterra is conscious of her own breath, of the unconscious pulsing rhythm of her ship self, which trembles, and not just from the electrotoxin. She really can't move in any sort of effective way, but what she's feeling isn't fear or even helplessness. It's anticipation. Oh god. If she thought that she trusted Saturn as much as anyone else, not at all. Now that she has no choice, she's surprised. She trusts Saturn so much, even knowing exactly what she wants to do. Saturn plucks the broken reactor out of Mercursium's hand and tosses it away like trash. And I will. Ugh, I think distract. Sorry, I had a long day at work and it's making me a little I don't want to fall asleep on stream or anything. Oh my god. Holy shit. Now that I have the power to peel your skin off and see it, I'm really happy. Never thought I'd get to see you like this, even though you're letting me. Little secrets just for me that the narration will never tell. For you only. So I only get to see you twitching and helpless? No one else knows? Not telling, but it's just for you, so keep it ambiguous. Got it. I could be straddling you and pinning you, and that's certainly possible, but not for certain. I'm not saying anything definite. It's up to interpretation. You've got it. Thank you. I've got my pride. Yeah, your pride? Tell me about that. It's worth a lot to me. Then I'm worth even more, right? Ooh. It's January 30th, 1981, and the day is almost here. The deadline to save everyone who came to space with us, fought with us, tried to bring everyone with us. If we shut down the lunar gravity well, there won't be any choice left. The power that keeps our ship selves intact in check will fall apart, and we won't have anywhere else to go but home. If we kill the dream, no one will die. We really, really hope that's not true. No one should die in space, but no one should die, period. No one has to die, because ship self-combat is shimmering missiles of light, cosmic explosions, electricity that sears through the soul. Blade science is impossible for a human to produce. Dances of combat without end. A fight against ideas with toys. Humans would never show that sort of compassion to each other. Earth's answer is a single atomic particle fired at near light speed directly into the cockpit core. A true weapon from a military force. The quickest, most efficient, instantaneous, unavoidable way to kill a human. The most boring possible way to pointlessly die. No drama, no meaning, just nothing. Lunatera. Just besties platonically riding each other. Yeah. Retrieving report. Report data unverifiable. Awaiting manual acceptance. Report accepted. Damage to Lagrange colony indicates most likely fulfillment of duties. Incoming alert. All Memorial Foundation troops. Prepare for landing on Moonbase. Alert! Cradle's Graces and Celestial Mechanics troops have seized control of the gravity well. We must prepare for the confrontation we have always feared. There is still hope. We will bring everyone home safe. We have Earth on our side. We will be prepared. Generating new assignments. Assignment, scouting mission. Verify status of Earth-controlled autonomous Europe military unit. Assignment, free time. Spend as you wish before the final battle. Your record is clear. Indicate you have understood new orders. Yes. Ready for gravitational catapult. Welcome home. My eyes just keep unfocusing and I keep yawning and I feel kind of bad about it because I'm so sleepy. Ooh. Oh, yes, please recommend which betrayal we do first. Because I am going to save right here. Are we going Memorial Foundation or are we going, Cradle's Graces? Ugh. You've had more than a few fights with that Celestial Mechanics pilot at this point, haven't you? Yes, fights. Exactly. You have really met your match. Ugh, sorry, I gotta adjust. In terms of troublesomeness, I think she has me beat. Did you know her? Saturn, a Generation 3 pilot? Celestial Mechanics first? Okay. I think that was the plan anyway, but yeah. I was only in charge of the combat operations, and the third generation never saw combat, even against the existential threat. Of course I knew her, though. She was one of Diapetus's top candidates. He used a variety of methods to artificially jumpstart extreme tidal sensitivity and otherwise unremarkable pilot candidates. I thought none of it worked. The first ship cells had manual controls. To bridge the gap between your intentions and the energy of the tidal reactor is a complex language. A conversation between yourself and the machine with advanced mathematics. You use your hands, but it is a fundamentally mental approach. Dr. Nix wanted to achieve communion through the soul. Iapetus, however, felt that direct interface with the body would be the most efficient. Teach the body, and the mind and soul would follow. It sounds dangerous. Also made up. It's all made up. There's nothing inherently wrong with using the body as a primary medium. However, he inflicted the intentions of the ship cells on the pilots rather than teaching them to express their intentions outward. He wanted subjects, not actors. It's impossible to read the rhetoric of his methodology any other way. Was Saturn particularly resistant? Is that why she was downgraded from primary candidate? No, she was intensely loyal, like another pair of hands and eyes for Iapetus. Thinking about ship cells, parallels between ship cells and Dragoon interfacing systems. God, I knew. I the other day I posted the picture of Shield crying and eating the burger, and I was just like, picture of me. I need to play that game real bad. It was really funny. Where is it? I love that Benui. There she is. 5:19 p.m. yesterday. Look at this fucking bunny. Sadhamburger.jpg. He's so bunny. I like her. I can't wait to meet her. It'll probably be a bit, but I'm gonna enjoy playing Coquette Dragoon, I think. Quite a bit. It was the opposite. She accepted all of those intentions perfectly. She was perfect. You see a problem, don't you? A doll that doesn't have the will to compete in title conflict. Why are you telling me that? He realized in the end he had created someone as boring as he was. It took a long time for you to learn how to be a person after having been forced to be someone else. Don't forget how to be tender to Hellions, Lunaterra. Lost Story, Ambient Tidal Forces, a Rivalry. I was waiting for this chance. Me too, thanks for obliging. Anytime, but I'd love for this to be the last time. Oh yeah? You have a plan for arranging that? Or are we just gonna fight forever without end? Do you win when your win ratio tips over 50%? That's climbing for sure, I can't deny it. You're slipping, getting lazy. I'm just bored. I want to win an argument. I don't want to win a fight. I just wish you were dead, okay? Me too. I can't kill you, and I don't really want to either. Well, same. And don't talk like Neith, you know that pisses me off. Won't say their main name, maybe. Maybe they died because they were tired of having the same fight over and over again forever. You kidding? They live for it. Man, what a bitch. I know, right? I really miss them. Me too. Wanna fight about it? Man, jeez. Sure, I get it. Fuck space. A loss. You know what? Fuck space. It's complete garbage. The secret no one up here ever wants to admit is that space is boring and empty and it's desolate and lifeless. It's not romantic and it doesn't care about us. They embellish dull gray photographs of dust with beautiful colors to pull our heartstrings, but the reality is nothing but different shades of gray. The palest colors. And you know what? That's not even the most embarrassing part. The most embarrassing part is that humans can't do anything better than imagine spaces just like Earth, but a little different. Filled with people who are like us, but a little different. Well, hey, guess what? That's just Earth, idiots. You know, I thought this was Hallie coded, but you know what? Triton coded. Yeah, you know what? That makes a lot of sense to me. Because Hallie won't leave and Hallie is please come home. Hallie isn't I'm leaving. However, her sister. You're projecting. Why do you need space to think about Earth? Why are you ignoring all of the people and places on Earth that are like you but a little different? Why is that dream more important than us? We're supposed to have dreams, but we're not supposed to just live in them. That's why I'm breaking up. I want to go home. It's not, yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense if that's Triton. Oh, we're gonna skip through this. The cadence is close, but it's not quite right. Yeah, I agree. Sorry, Pluto. We'll be back later. Similar, but not the same. How sisterly. Um, by extension, T for T. So go for a fucking walk and stop making my crew fawn over the 6-1 moody trans girl scene. And by extension, well, hold on, let me get my fucking tweet in here. I was late to work making this. Actually, I don't think I was, but... uh... So funny. You're saying they're cousins in the 90s stuff? Did you notice, Lunatera? Our base now is not far from the Sea of Crises, where your ship self was made and you first sortied. It's nostalgic, isn't it? It is, isn't it? Reminds me when we were fighting some theoretical alien, existential threat, and not each other. Would you prefer those days? I don't think so. I definitely wouldn't. I like being less stupid. Fighting with people is better than not even thinking about people at all, instead of fantasies. Aren't you going to say that's still your problem? I know when I drilled you like little soldiers, I taught you the opposite too well, but I wouldn't mind if you had second thoughts. Europa, do you feel guilty? We should all feel guilty, but me and my peers especially. We caused this conflict to be played out, and we failed to teach you well enough to endure it. The future we had hoped you would live in was much too childish for you. I know. I'm not upset by that, or I would never have come back here by your side again. I don't want your guilt. Or my guilt. What do you need, Lunatera? I would like you to give me your orders. Without guilt, or regret, or expectation. Of course. Though I've raised you terribly, Lunatera, I also always have been quite proud of you. She's always been so good at scary. I can't deal with good kids. That was Nyx's job. True. But I don't hear a reason to trust me. Or are you going to ground me? You're my student, Lunatera. I don't have to trust you. Trusting you is not my concern. I can't keep you out of trouble anymore, or even tell you what to do. I can only advise my last remaining student. Whether you listen to me or not, or to that girl or not, whether you fulfill your duty to Memorial Foundation or betray us once more. You're getting too permissive in your old age. I've always been permissive, and I've always been old. I thought you said I was in charge. I will advise you to no matter what decision you make, Lunatera. And not quietly. Then what's your advice, since I'm just going to do it? Don't get out of dealing with your ex by indulging your death wish. But she's not my ex. Were you not together, or is it not over? My advice is not to leave things ambiguous next time. Or this time. The existential threat. Pilot program training documentation. Leaked. Memorial Foundation Native Sphere Archives. It was composed of solid light and arrived in multitudes. They never arrived in the same shape, pattern, or texture twice. They were memorable, but indistinct. They were like and unlike things that we have seen on Earth, and they could not be touched, except through gravity. We could not determine where they came from, but they always headed towards Earth. We feared what would happen if they passed into Earth too much to learn what their intentions for coming here were, and our pilots defeated them without fail, without any hesitation, without any resistance. Flawlessly, beautifully, obviously. The truth has always been that the existential threat is much weaker than humans, no matter what we call it. There was a refusal to name precisely at all times the substance and nature of the existential threat. First of all, by returning it as the existential threat. Memorial Foundation international jargon, rather than by common local cultural names. From the failures of the Scout program on Earth, there was a desire to both separate the pilots as much as possible from earthly preconceptions. We did this to understand the new ways in which our pilots could be human. We did this to understand how the existential threat would change in corresponding ways, complementing their new humanity. Existential threats are always weaker than us, but they have ways that we do not, and they are always waiting in the corners of the world, looking to overcome us in other ways. In the case of the existential threat as it existed in space, does the failure of the Scout program mean that the true ending for We Know the Devil happened? Like, is that what's going on Earth, or what happened on Earth, or... Because, you might not want to go back at that point. It might be too different. Maybe Pluto just wins either way. I guess, like... It might... Oh, maybe it's a different Venus. I don't know. In the case of the existential threat as it existed in space, we created a weapon, the Krun Macula, powerful enough to defeat them once and for all, single-handedly. And we did so, and we lost every reason to be in space, and we ended all mystery and possibility. So it is surprising that in filling the void, it became the pilots who took the roles of the existential threat, as it is known to occur on rare occasions on Earth. Plastic versus metal. Earth has promised to let the children of space sort themselves out, for now. But their machines of war guard the way back home just in case. When Saturn and Lunaterra meet in a chance encounter, the true terror of humanity stares them down. The fleets are already in motion. Are you ready? In other emails, the failures of the Scout program are mostly stated to be a failure to move beyond the need for it and indefinite extensions of authority due to that. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So not because they destroyed the Scout program. Whether this or we know the devil is first is very deliberately vague. It makes a lot of sense. Like, how technology go between mech and cell phones. I don't know. I always kind of assumed that we know the devil's first-ish, but it also seems a little more modern. And, you know, maybe that's a show of the Scout program being bloated. I would have assumed that our worst girls weren't the only group of the Scouts that producing queer eldritch polycules instead of good compliant conformists, and it presumably hit a point where the controlling authorities were like, well, that's not what we wanted, cancel that. X exist in the 80s, smartphones could too. How come Neptune gets signal out there? Can we talk about that? How the fuck does she get signal? Neptune, after becoming the devil, texting her friends, "Hey, you never guess what'll happen." Idiot heart jerk face is secretly Saturn the whole time. Oh my god, we're blowing it wide open. No problem. I'm only worried about the trickster from Celestial Mechanics. No end of trouble. The devil is really in smartphones in this timeline. She's a signal booster. You don't sound too unhappy about that. I suppose that trouble will end soon, one way or another. 5G, girls. Now that's the kind of waves I want going through my brain. Beam the girl waves into me. New HRT just dropped. It's so true. Oh, people in another Discord server I'm in are watching the Scott Pilgrim show that just came out, and someone's posting every location in Toronto that they show in the show. Very funny. It's simply Recon this time, but it's on the near side of the moon. And Europa's oh boy. Earth's military is there, with autonomous devices. They're in very high orbit, but they will descend rapidly if they notice gravitational variability. The ship itself is a shape intended for humans to exist in space, outside the Earth's pull. It isn't intended for war. You only saw the Yuri moment because of Hallie. Did she retweet that too? Oh my god. That was good. I like Yuri moments. The military is here with the most direct of intentions, so don't let them achieve it. Funny, the planetary sphere doesn't seem to think we're on the same side. Imagine Yuri moments. I'm imagining Yuri moments so hard right now. There's nothing funny about it. We're not on the same side. We are complicating the problem. She replied, and I quote, "What? Good. We can't let it go so much as Cradle's Graces or Celestial Mechanics can't." As someone who was like, Kim Pine needs a girlfriend so bad, and also someone who, my favorite character in Scott Pilgrim is Roxy Richter. Big win for me. Shout out to Roxanne. Shout out to the lesbian ninja girl. Earth has graciously allowed us considerable leeway in dealing with closing of the space program on our terms. You can tell I'm sleepy because my brain is not processing words correctly. Broken and naive as they find us, Memorial Foundation International begged them to let us try and bring the wayward children back home bloodlessly. So, we should be thankful that they are just watching and not descending to rout us. Most of Earth would find any loss of human life to space unacceptable, but less and less of Earth considers us fully human. So the mission isn't just to protect any stragglers from getting themselves killed by the forces we're trying to save them from? You don't think we can trust them? If I trusted them to handle it, I would not have to let you, the children of space, to fight this conflict. Do you think we can bring everyone back to Earth? There's a reason I am not having you interfere with the opening of the gravity well. Everyone will be in one place at least. What Celestial Mechanics and Cradle's Graces hope will be their salvation could be ours too. We're on a tight deadline for something that might be that impossible. Win what's in front of you and worry about that later. Risk dying tearing that machine to pieces. Whoa, it seems almost like it can't be a coincidence bumping into you again. Fancy seeing you here. A likely story, but please stay down. It's closing in. That thing wants to murder us very badly. It wants to kill. Yep, aren't you itching to fight it? The autonomous military unit is waiting for opportunities, it seems, but it's really just reacting to the conditions and responding with protocol. It's inevitability, gravity, law. Humans can be pretty unambiguous, which is why if you want something done precisely, you must teach it only a sliver of what humans know. If you want someone dead without complication, you must remove nuance first. It doesn't have any kind of morality system or decision-making process. It's very non-discriminatory. Just gravity and nothing else. It's a gun and not much else. So maybe you should stop harassing it so much. It's annoying though. I want to bully it. I promised I wouldn't tangle with something if it was really life or death. But now I'm here, I'm too tempted. I just absolutely want to tear it to pieces. Completely destroy it like it wants to destroy me. You ever feel like that, even when you're terrified? Especially then, but it's not worth fighting. Not at all, even a little. It's like fighting gravity or a whole planet. What can you call winning against something like that? There are a million more. You can't have a real argument with something like that. They sent autonomous troops because they didn't want to have one in the first place. It just goes to show they really don't care what happens to space or anyone in it. Or they do, and they want this badly to believe they don't. You're gonna hate this, but that makes me wish I could crush them even more. Sorry. There has to be a way, right? Unlike a ship self, the autonomous military unit doesn't have a shape that remotely resembles a person. There's no need for that. Obviously. You would give something a human shape only if you wanted it to be able to express the fullness of being a human. War has never been fought like that. Military technology is designed to narrow available resources in order to efficiently execute a single specific function. Giant robots have never been practical for war. What is necessary is a single vector pointed in a certain inflexible fixed direction. The autonomous military unit may not look human, but it is human. A single, uncomplicated human thought. Die. I'm worrying that telling you this will just encourage you, so I shouldn't. It feels like a bad idea. But they're not invincible or almighty against us, even if they're incredibly, overwhelmingly powerful. Especially here in the liminal zones of the moon, but not ever anywhere. It's nice to hear you get mad about it. I understand the math. We're risking our lives and our personhood, and they're not. It's very one-sided. Humans are cowards. And that makes me want to fight even more. I'm saying it's not worth it. The statement will be lost on Earth. They've got an endless number of drones. But you can destroy them, right? I'm not asking if there's a point. I don't care about that. I'm asking if we can. Let me know how you did it, right? Because you have. You really don't know, Saturn. You just don't. And you never will. You can wish and fight, but Earth will never let us go. 9.8 meters per second squared is what we are bound to. Your weight and mine are nothing compared to that speed. We can't even scratch the surface. But you are right. It was stupid. But when I was with Cradle's Graces, I destroyed one. Pluto made me promise to never risk my life over something like that again. That's a huge brag, but given all that, kind of a crazy thing to do. Why? Not that I think it doesn't rule. I was feeling the same way you were feeling. Pure spite. I'm not quite as bad anymore. At least I'm trying not to be. I know that feeling. It's easy to bet your life when you don't care whether you lose it or not. If we fight together, we'll be betting on each other. It doubles the risk and there's still no point. Is there really no point to it, though? Useless. Okay, that's true, but not pointless. You are so clever, Lunatera, but you have outsmarted yourself. And now you're believing there's no meaning in fighting against that blind and unstoppable force. I definitely know what battles I want to fight. She knows exactly what Lunatera is about, like, instantly. The senseless eye of the autonomous weapon fixates on their location. The string of pearls doesn't give it time to get inquisitive. Saturn's closing the distance, cheating distances. It reflexively attempts to close distance too, but its calculations seem to just constantly be off. Saturn, come back. What did I say? Were you listening to yourself? Aren't we doing this? You finished Calliope sigils? Ooh. Okay, send them to me. I want to see them. Or I guess send them to the group chat. Maybe. Are you gonna prove my point or what? It's no big deal for you, right? You've done it before, right? It'll be twice as easy now. So don't make me fight it alone. That'll be fucked up. It'll be heroic if it's the two of us, so come on, enable me. Don't you want me to not end up like you? Don't you want to not end up like you? The autonomous military unit is extremely simple. It fires a simple burst of metal directly at a cockpit. Particle unaffected by gravity, instantly lethal. It takes all the drama and expression out of fighting, the ultimate anticlimax. That's why true combat is ugly, arbitrary, horrifying, a struggle for power in absolute terms. Not a romance like fighting in the perfect body can be. It's only because you did something so stupid that I'm joining you. A blue elusive streak, unmistakable but impossible to pin down, follows Saturn. Liar! Fake hypocrite! You've never smiled as much as before as you are right now. Against even a single autonomous unit, not dying starts out hard and keeps getting harder. Saturn can cheat the distance. It's the reason she isn't instantly dead. Their targeting is flawless and predictive, based on clear indentations made in space, time, and culture by gravity. But Saturn just cheats every time she changes the math. And every time it adjusts to correct and keeps getting smarter and harder. Still, Saturn does the math better than it can. Lunaterra will die if she thinks to herself about what's happening for even a single second. So she doesn't. She verbs instead. Do this, do that, make it real, make it happen. Don't think or blink. Simply, impossibly, always be doing, always be being. Don't get hit and never die. Nothing like life or death to remind you that being alive is great, and in that state you can become infinitely capable of fighting tooth and nail no matter what. When Mericrisium's hard light slugs hit the unit's chassis, it miscalculates, dips in motion, but it's undeterred. It can endure much more than that. Lunaterra respects that and fires 12 dozen more as point blank as possible. No time for mercy, so increase the output more than should be possible. Defensive insulation keeps it protected from the string of pearls electrotoxin. All the string of pearls can leave is a series of bleeding, oozing, hot pink pinpricks. Nothing but scratches until there are so many of them they aren't just scratches anymore. There's no limit to how mean she can get. It's something else fighting like this. I wasn't ready. You're doing amazing. You're unreal. You have to be, otherwise you're dead. So don't let up, don't stop, keep going. It's the only way. Every approach and hit counts. You've got to be perfect. The autonomous military unit is fast. Faster than either of them, but isn't faster than coincidence. It's not fast enough to predict someone who's not even thinking, and it's not faster than cheating. Saturn works her whole hand into its guts and comes out with a fistful. It has dozens of redundant components designed to withstand unreal trauma and continue fighting, but there's a slight delay as the failsafe switch circuits. That moment of time is time enough for Lunaterra to plunge her iridescent blade into flailing sensors that burst into white light. Even torn in half, ripped apart both ways by a division of light and dark undone, the autonomous movement unit still moves. The only way they win is to be completely thorough. Pull the guts out every which way, never show mercy, and never let go until they've bathed in it from head to toe. At the end, they don't even realize when the moment came that they were still alive, that they had won. Are you finally satisfied? God, it was worse than I remembered. No idea how I did it alone. I feel incredible. Beyond satisfied. If I didn't feel almost dead, I'd be begging you to do it all over again. I knew I'd just encourage you. It shows the good it did. You know, Lunaterra, I'm fighting. No matter what. No matter who wins. I know the best I can hope for is half of what I want. But I'm not here for a realistic outcome, even if that's all we get. I'm just going to fight. Forever. With perfect greed until I get everything. I don't know if I can be that cool. But when it comes down to it, I won't stop either. Ugh. Here we go! Time for some of your favorite Hallie dialogue. Let's get in the princess headspace. Oh no. Oh, Luna. What I want to say is how could you, and yet... I wonder why I'm not mad anymore. Is it just too big to be mad about? Too big for me. All of humanity should hate you. So what's the point of me still doing it? So sad. It just hurts. I hate it. I know you think I'm an idiot. I don't care if you don't read this. If you could, maybe you wouldn't be leaving us like this. That's a foolish thought. I couldn't convince you of it anymore. How could I? Humanity doesn't make a good argument for being human. I feel that way too, you know. Like usual, you do the thing I think about so easily. We were supposed to come home, not because it was better down there, but because the loneliness was too much to bear. Hallie pathetically spamming LT's GMs like it's journaling is so peak Hallie. It's great. on either side. I still believe Earth would still miss us if we left. We won't be gone forever. Like usual, you can do the thing I think about so easily. She just wants to leave. Just let her leave. She brain poisoned herself. And she thinks she's stuck. This is why you were obsessed even before you found the Twitter account. Yeah, that's fair. But Hallie, humanity already hates you because you're no longer human. The sheer implication in that line. What she wants, what she can't have, and what she tells herself she wants. They're all in there and they're all fighting. Holly is the saddest, loneliest girl in space. No polycule for the fail girl. The fleets crash, ship self against ship self. In the shadow of the gravity well, none of it is visible from Earth. A quiet conflict, not a war as it has been stressed. It's more like a very pointed argument. It could be a conversation, if only they understood each other, and sometimes they do. It could be kissing, if they loved each other. Sometimes they do. With the gravity well open, unrestrained, they fight weightlessly, under the full weight of their own gravity alone. A truer way to fight than anyone ever experienced before. To fight with one's own self and the full weight of one's gravity, and the hollow weight of the inverse, is the only time this will be possible. Our true power, unrestrained. Celestial mechanics simply takes advantage when no one else is looking. Oops. Celestial mechanics need no plans to win. After all, there's no way to win in that sort of conflict. The winner only has to prove a point. The way that celestial mechanics accomplishes this is simple. True to themselves. Without the weight of gravity tying them to Earth, tying them to orbit, holding them in their human forms, what happens next is the natural result, and that's what proves their point. It isn't immediately clear anything is wrong. It happens naturally, as a consequence of truly unrestrained conflict. Each one climbing to the top, seeing how far their limits are, and realizing, suddenly, there aren't any. When the first pilot sends her reactor's limits past the theoretically possible range, her reactor reverts, and what only existed deep inside is now the face she wears. A perfect, unbelievably true self. So true that it cannot exist even in orbit. Until she's joined by another and another. In unison, their gravity holds them together. The way Hallie Twitter builds on your reading of this too. I'm not a woman. When people treat me like a woman, it honestly makes me a little uncomfortable, although I don't correct them. It's fine to be a woman, but I'm not one. I'm just a girl. Yeah. Not to be like, that's big gender, but that's big gender. In a way. Like, they really put her in charge of everything, even though she wasn't ready, and they knew she wasn't ready. And it was supposed to be for her sister the whole time. Hallie listening to No Doubt on repeat. Yeah. Wow, that song's so good. So, not to bring this up every single time, but, the playbook I'm making for Eidolon, which is, like, heavily inspired by We Know the Devil, one of the things that, like, put me in the space that I wanted to do this is, like, so one of the characters in Eidolon Ska has Just a Girl as her Eidolon. And the Phantom fight, the Persona Shadow fight for her was her Eidolon took over her body and just started doing whatever it wanted. And like they started coexisting at the end, and it was really good. And it made my neurons activate. And I really want to I'm really close to finishing it, but I want to finish that. It's great. Also, Just a Girl is a good song, and it's fun, and it's a bop. This is my plug. Go listen to Eidolon Playtest. If you want a podcast, if you want an actual play podcast of a majority amount of trans women playing a game made by them and they're playtesting it, go listen to Eidolon Playtest. It's good. Maybe the best, like, praise for something I could ever give it. It makes me want to make things. Good job, Saturn. It's exactly how I imagined. Not having second thoughts, are you? It's everything you wanted. And it'll be good for Earth as well. Your infection of the gravity well was perfect. And you will successfully fuse with your ship shelf, just like you wanted. It's for our happiness too, of course. Humans will get to live as humans, aliens as aliens. And as enemies mutually agreed upon with no possibility of communication or reconciliation. And no conflict or guilt on our own sides. Humanity shouldn't externalize all of their problems, but I think we can still manage progression with most of them. And with your hands already sunk into the gravity well, I should tell you it's technically too late. Things will take care of themselves from here. And thanks to your actions, I have had more than enough time to prepare for re-entry. I knew it would be that easy for you to ditch us. Not so. I still find you all so fascinating. Leading such beautiful lives. I have regrets, of course, but I have a real world to get back to. I'm not having regrets either. I'm only mad about how much you're underestimating me. Because you think I'm satisfied only getting what I want. And not greedy enough for more. Saturn breaks open her circuits, and the inversion starts immediately. She can feel the gravity well pulling her inside out. The secret within humans to be pulled to the fore. She needs it, but not just yet. I wonder what it is you think you can do at this point. You've already conceded. Unless you're hoping for some reconciliation between humanity and the alien. That is by definition impossible. It must not be too impossible, or you wouldn't be training all your weapons on me. Well, I am impressed because I finally have no idea what it is you're doing. But just because I don't understand it means I'm not going to prevent it. You have no understanding of what the violence of actual combat is like under Earth's authority. Iapetus's Rosenvo Terra is equipped with certain features that allow it to divide and categorize. It's an abstract ability with a lot of application. Sophisticated and sinister, and the warrant of Earth itself behind it. So Lunaterra figures the best solution is to just shoot him. A lot. It's honestly a very good solution. Iapetus buckles, and whatever thing he thought he was doing, he isn't. Huh. Easy. That's because the hard part is coming next. Promise? You say that now. But thanks for going along, even though I didn't tell you anything. I know how to make the best of a bad ending. Hey, it's not anything worse than what you had planned, probably. So I'll help it make the best bad end we can find. Pay attention or die. The attempt is lethal and simple, but the weight is not heavy enough to kill. The string of pearls tears a hot pink scar through space-time. His bullets can go there. If you can come close enough to talk to me, you can come close enough to kill me. But I don't want either. I want to never see or know you throughout space and time. Indeed. So complete the transition. If you remain human, you'll die. I can ensure it. The autonomous military units come to his aid, but their sensors are off. Their movements are slow. Human gravity is losing authority here, and their tools are useless. I could seriously really use a little bit of help here. Well, if you're actually asking. Pluto unfolds the rhythm. She decodes the sequence. Plates shift, engines hum, her eyes open. So she opens up her eye, the other biggest eye, and big enough to swallow it whole. Then she blinks and swallows. She's got hungry eyes. Pluto's hands hold Saturn's tightly. I thought you promised me no bad endings. That's what I'm trying. It might really be working. This already feels too good. Really know what you mean now. Do you have an answer? I'm sort of counting on you for it. You think I know how to find the good future in all this? Well, you're a good person. I need you to be the one not just thinking about us, but the humans left behind too. You think I wouldn't? I think you're too much of me and too little of yourself. Iapetus has an answer. The story ends when the weapon that is designed without exception to kill does so, and forces a choice between one of two sides. Human or alien, two distinct and incompatible worlds. The mathematical model needs to be perfect. It needs to allow for exchanges of matter, light, or information without allowing for understanding or communication. And there is an extremely easy calculation to create. It's the oldest narrative there is. It's the one that Earth has told again and again and again. Iapetus has an extensive library to draw from, starting from the first moment humans separated light from dark. There's a way, and fuck off with this. We don't want it. Saturn throws that narration out. Why should it work that way? Why not make something different? Who says physics works this way? Who says the calculations turn out that way? Iapetus wants us to take the fall. For everyone. For Earth. For us to scapegoat each other. I hate that. If our cores collapse, a world where anything is possible arises, and at the same time we will have closed off all possibilities that make us human. The existential threat we always feared and hoped to unite us will be real, and they will finally have a real war. I want all of that, but I just want to add a little tiny bit extra to it. Iapetus wants us to reduce the only information it will be possible to exchange to us between us to violence. But you want for something different to be exchanged. So, we can't hurt each other, but that we can something else with each other? We'll have to be very small and very imprecise. At least it'll be something different, you know? There's no chance of going back to being human. Not zero chance, although we won't even remember what being human is, so it's pretty low, I guess. That's good enough for me. Let's hope it's good enough for us all. There's no limit to how big we can get. Size is a funny dream. It's relative, it doesn't have to matter anymore. It can be set like any other variable. As the gravity well draws matter towards it, and even light, it emits a not energy, a not light, that can perfectly make up a body just as well as all that. Big enough to be equal to the... Big and close enough to compete with the moon. To anchor in space and time equals division between us. To be a new and separate world. The autonomous units are single vectors, prepared for human violence, and we can't be cheated like that anymore. Only sad humans can have their gravitational impression in the universe terminated by the extinguishing of their bodies. They'll have to fight us on our terms if they want to get rid of us now, the way humans should fight with no fear of ending. The consequences will be unimaginable. We aren't going to have selves or consciousness like we're used to having. That's what it means to give up on humanity. We won't know who we are, and we might not understand or grasp each other anymore. That's true. You might not know how true that is. It's so true. The final mystery of what is human, what is alien, ever shifting. For all ground reclaimed by humans lost to them. Humans have a lot. We'd only be able to imagine what it was like to be them. Hey, it's not all that bad though. Don't underestimate the human race. Don't overestimate the human race. Do the math. If we lose how humans love each other, do you think there's ways to love each other that humans don't know yet? Do they really know every way there is to touch and know each other? Or is there still much more to learn too? Maybe we're only scratching the surface. There are many, many routes. We won't understand each other in the same ways, but we'll understand each other in ways we never could. And we will write a new story, with our gravity, a new world. As we leave this level existence, he insists on engaging us at. Our tides push back, and Earth's tides, which no longer bind us, insist on him. What are you doing, hypocrite? You want to fight in the realms of heaven? Your place is on Earth. That's the only to wonder at now. The story's ending twists. We are far away, another space and time. Watch us in the sky, but never touch. Until you find your answer on Earth, you'll never touch heaven. I ran away from gravity. Sometimes it feels so close I couldn't possibly run away from it. But I could. I did escape. Little victories. I escaped from my old body. I escaped from bad thoughts. I escaped from bad people. I escaped from my own bad self. You need more than just speed to get away, to really get away. Speed required to go up instead of down, and then, after that, speed to never be tied down again. Oh my god. This is really good. I like escape velocity rather than running away. Mostly. Just want to be free. Holy shit. But you can't do it alone. Reactor collapse. Diversion event. I was gonna say, this has to be the one that Lorelai got first. Because, like, I was reading that and I was like, oh, I'm hearing Lorelai's voice right now. Because that shit doesn't fly past escape velocity. My reactor's aborting. Diversion event. The impulse, always deep and always lurking, to turn inside out. Everything is reversed. Nothing is the same. Giving up everything that isn't real for everything that is, so now they can't touch each other. Can't lie in bed with each other. Can't get legs entangled with each other. Instead, they have ways of physically interfacing that aren't like anything we could imagine. Clouds of particles drift into each other. Maybe they touch each other instead of just on the surface. Touch through each other instead of just on the surface. It can be in a cold and gentle way, like through a ghost, or maybe a warm and gross way, like reaching into guts. Smiles communicated in physical light, an embrace of psychedelic mind matter. Lazy sex in a morning bed, except the bed is curvature of space-time, and sex is something so obscene it'll make your mind implode to consider it. The ship self fused to the hide, the gravity reactor to the flesh, because humans have sciences to distinguish the differences between those things, and these new aliens don't. They won't have arts or sciences, they won't know what the differences are, and they won't know what they mean. But they will understand the difference between many other kinds of thing that we do not understand. A real hero would have turned out differently. Oh, you just broke up with someone who used the Ludoterra avatar? Oh. 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 Gosh. I'm hugging you. A real hero would have turned out differently, but that's not who we are. Our ships have mouths now, and they open, and they can scream. There can be sound in space. Now our vibrations can touch the things that aren't there. Oh, okay. Okay, it wasn't the person I was thinking of. Good, okay, phew. Oh my god. No, wait, no, this was right after you came out. Right. Okay. Yes. My brain is gooey. I'm okay. I'm glad still friends. You played the game in reverse of your usual recommended order. You went Pluto, Lunaterra, Saturn. That's really funny. Humans know it's time to flee. The threat from within is now without, as they desired. The moon is no longer hospitable, as alien and mysterious as it was long before it was possible to reach it. Can't speak or write. Has other ways of communicating information. Can't use the old senses. Has new organs for it now. Can't love in the old ways. There are new ways of having that too. Laying together in the stars. We can do that though. The metaphor translates. That's what this is, indisputably. You're also the exact type of person to see all the esoteric shit in Pluto's route and be immediately invested. Yeah. And everyone is invited who wants to become a world and never touch Earth. That's a different world now. Cradle's Grace is a good ending. I don't know if I have a favorite ending yet. Their strange intimacy can touch us even now, longing to teach us and tell us what they've learned, what they share laughing without laughing with each other even now. They're so far away they cannot even be our enemy. They will break our hearts. It's a lovely night tonight. Perfect, not for stargazing, because the light of the trinary system outshines them by far. But it's a perfect night to watch the three of them. Look, there's Lunaterra, the 2-in-1, rising, almost full. She almost outshines the moon, a bridge between the Earth and the moon no one can cross. The nebula cloud of Pluto is a shimmering, benevolent mystery, swallowing an eighth of the sky in a permanent sort of twilight. And the glittering twinkle of Saturn that tricks the edge of your eye, but hard to see directly, and making the boundaries of your heart and mind ever so thin. We lay out our blankets and watch until someone catches us. We run. But it's all fun and games, until that day comes. They're waiting for us always. They just need 1 or 3 to reach out to them again. Even if it's just a fight. To touch them once again. God, that's such a fucking good ending. Ugh. Hey, I never betrayed anyone in my life. Shall we, Pluto? Definitely the ending closest to your heart. Yeah, it's powerful. I don't know, that, like, not to be trans, but like, it's good. Sometimes you're just so much of an other that, like, it's impossible to even be what they want you to be, so why even bother, you know? Fuck it. Just be a monster. I don't know. I don't think I've played Gender Act. What is that? I'm gonna look it up. Oh, it's a Heather Flowers game. Nice. Very short, very sweet, deeply queer. Yeah, I can see that. These are some good screenshots. These are some good monsters. Secret ending? Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Blood and many more. Oh, I do like all of those things. Heather Flowers makes really good fucking games. And I haven't played any of them, and I need to. Yeah, I gotta do Meat Punks. I really do. I also want to do the snake one, which I don't remember what it's called. Snake Farm. It's just called Snake Farm. Oh, it's on Steam, not on itch. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, Heather Flowers makes good games, but I haven't played any. They all look amazing. One of these days I'll drop the cash for that game and find out why the tree's a dick. There's too many games that are really good. I don't like... I wish that making weird fucked up art was something that people could do all the time. I wish capitalism wasn't. I don't think there's too many games. I just think that there's a lot of games and I don't have time to play all of them. Can't play them all, that's too many. New orders, Lunaterra, get out for a while. What? Oh, really? You don't need me on standby? Yes, but you're making everyone anxious. The pacing and sighing is becoming melodramatic. Even worse, some of the girls are beginning to find it very attractive. Show them some mercy and give yourself a break, please. Sorry about that. I just snapped at one of the deck mechanics. I am getting tired. I know, and it's given her a disgusting crush on you, so please leave before more of my crew becomes compromised. Capitalism bad because video games. Mark said this, I'm pretty sure. Mark's after I showed him video games. And the strongest enemy is called a boss. I see. That tweet is so good. I still don't get why that happens. That you don't is less of a saving grace than you might think. It's good you're not full of yourself, but you have no awareness of your own value. I'm aware. It's not a mystery to me why someone would like to earn the approval of someone who treats them as if they don't deserve it. It's an intoxicating feeling. And you fight them with a party? Good. Have we considered that Mark should play Final Fantasy VII? Forget giving the Pope Undertale. We're gonna go back in time and give Karl Marx Final Fantasy VII. Marx didn't predict this, and it's just a picture of Sephiroth. So why do they think I wouldn't want that too? I'm just as greedy and childish. It annoys me. I'm not an invincible monster. I need the same things. Now grow up. You're not different. You're no different than any of the other girls. You're the only one who thinks you actually have to be this made-up person. What, you think you're going to teach Pluto to not take on the burdens of those she cares about when you can't even throw off your own entirely self-inflicted ones? You know my girls aren't stupid enough to see what a fool you are alongside your strength. They wouldn't find you charming otherwise. Didn't you learn anything from your terrible relationship with my tragically pathetic niece? Hallie mentioned... learn to not pretend I could give someone what she wanted. Wrong. You should have learned that just because someone likes you doesn't mean they also don't know you're an idiot. No one needs you to be stronger. You need to let yourself be weaker. Do that quickly so I don't have to hear any more complaints. From you or those girls. Aren't you tired of hearing them yourself? Fight until we love each other. On the far side of the moon, there's still some part of the dead, empty, cratered Luna left. As the terraforming engines sweep in, they turn Earth's satellite to another part of Earth. Until that time comes, this place is free of Earth's pull. A place still perfect for a quiet moment to happen. In an empty clearing, surrounded by weight and life. It's the perfect place for them to fight like ships do. The fighting that ships do, not the fighting that people do. In the naked sunlight and nothing else, Pluto looks so beautiful. Spinning tiny galaxies with Macula, the way she was always meant to. Of all the prototypes she piloted over the years, nothing suited her like this. From the awkward and embarrassing creature she used to be to the woman who promised Earth there could be a new type of human. No longer the priceless tool of selfish adults, the pawn of space dreamers, the princess who can remake her body out of tidal forces and stardust. It's just Pluto. In the naked sunlight and nothing else, even in this worn and wounded ship, Lunaterra shines like she always has. Even with the hurt she has. One way or another, someday or another, every girl bleeds. And her Mercurium suffers alongside her. The drip of her wound spins like a red constellation in 0G. She's rusted, but some parts of her will never rust. The two of them have fought so much, so this shouldn't be a fight. With nothing and no one else to think about, there's no reason to fight. In the naked sunlight, for once, don't fight. You know, I feel like if Hallie wasn't so shitty to Lunaterra, she probably would have taken her with her to Cradle's Graces. Or at least tried, you know? But I guess even before Hallie and LT were, engaged, she was still ghosting people a lot. I don't know. There's so much about, like, their actual backstory that's just hinted at. And also, they're both stupid. So, you know. Instead of fighting like people do, fight like ships do. Fight like plastic toys do. Fight like you don't have a body. Like you don't hate your body. Fight your way into a new body. The Princess of Memorial Foundation defecting would have escalated everything so damned hard, though. Yeah. Yeah, it would have. Fight like we used to without trying to win. Fight like we did a long time ago when they were training us to fight. All we wanted to do was play. Fight like we did when we didn't have any other way of touching each other. When all we had were lasers and lights, tides and time, to say what we wanted to say to each other. Another reason why Hallie's sad and lonely, she can't do what LT did because she can't be that foolish because the consequences for if she does it are so much worse. Oh no, I'm having sympathy for her. I'm having sympathy for the idiot. I'm not going to go easy. You better not. Also a parallel for Lunaterra and Trident. Lunaterra gets the fuck off to train Cradle's Graces. Trident gets the fuck off home. Hallie's stuck being a silly little princess. And, like, it goes to her head, too. But, like, she's alone, and the only people she gets to talk to are her aunt, who hates her, and her own fucking brain, and people who, like, treat her like she's being put on a pedestal for no reason. She doesn't like being in space. That's the important thing, too. She hates it here. She wishes she could fuck off, but her sister did it first. Her aunt pities her, which may be worse. She's a really interesting character. It's also so funny given how he even got in the game. Yeah, I remember. She's cute and pathetic. Put her in the game, please? Please? Oh, now I'm thinking about Hallie Butt again. She is cute and pathetic, though. I can't go near her because she'd want me to top her. It would literally just be the and they were both bottoms thing. The existential threat of Halamede analysis is sympathizing and finding her cute. She's still a bad person, though. Bad people can be cute. Bad people can be sympathetic. Cinderella, why are you crying? You better not. Since we're not fighting, I really don't want you to hold back. Lunaterra knows a thing is true about fighting in space. So glad I've corrupted you and Hallie. Listen, you talk about a girl enough and it happens. Lunaterra wrote the book. It's kind of a predictable story. The Lunaterra makes sure her enemies get sunk. You know this trick, don't you? You've seen Lunaterra pull it so many times. Fire off something to test the waters. Lead the target until they walk right into the shot. You can play that game forever until they make the first move. Don't let them make that move until you know they won't be expecting what you do next. What you do next can be anything. As long as it's what they're not going to see coming. After you do it, disengage, like passing a secret. You know this one really well. The message in the bottle. Slip between the bullets of hard light. Sanders, come here! She's gotta pick one of us. Okay, she picked Jules. You know this one really well. Message in the bottle, slip between the bullets of hard light. She was the person who taught you how to blow a kiss, but Pluto is the one who learned how to make out. Our ship's so big it makes Lunaterra look like a toy, but Pluto is even bigger than that. You have to measure in density, not mass. Then you'll understand. Pluto is the center. Lunaterra revolves around Pluto, like she always has. Lunaterra is too close. when she tries to pull back from Pluto, and too far when she's trying to close in. She's on a leash that extends through space-time however Pluto wants. Lunaterra's gravity is the tug that makes the tides go in and out. Pluto's gravity is strong enough to turn Lunaterra into a new shape. Lunaterra didn't invent this, but she loves to struggle through it. She loves to see what she can do, how close she can come, and she comes in so fast. Does so well, but goes too far. When Pluto isn't expecting, it's too fast. Way too fast. Pluto's more off guard than Lunaterra expects. Lunaterra's moon of a sphere crescents right into Pluto's chest. All this talk of coming. And spears. And piercing. LT. Lunaterra wants to scream, but she doesn't say anything. It feels deep enough to be scary, and Lunaterra only meant to nick her. What's wrong? We were having so much fun and you look so scared. Why didn't you blockhead? Luna, I'm fine, see? You can't hurt me that easily. You're not that strong. I'll always be alright. Where's the fan art of Pluto calling her gravity wells her hand job holes? That's what it is, right? Oh, is it Saturn calling them that? I want to find it. Oh, it was Saturn as Chromac. Oh, I didn't even notice that. Now I need to see it again. Wait, is that official art? Did I like did my brain skip a beat and think that it was like Tumblr fan art? God, I want the electrotoxin enamel pin so bad. I hope that comes back. Deeply hope that comes back. Okay, it is fan art. I hope. Now I want to see the Love Life fan art that he's made. That's a good Nico. Okay, I'm actually here for Pluto. Oh my god, I totally didn't even realize that was Saturn the whole time. I'm dumb. Fire a missile through my hand job hole. Oh, fucking incredible. You're not that strong, I'll be alright. Pluto plucks Lunaterra off by the forearm, gently with two fingers. Like detaching a kitten or a bug. Sorry to scare you like that. But you lied. You said you weren't going to hold back. Pluto can seize Lunaterra by both wrists, and she does that. And Lunaterra is quite awestruck by how safe and helpless she feels. The gravity pulling at her from Pluto is gentle but firm. Fighting ship to ship is the only time Lunaterra doesn't feel naked, but now she finally feels naked there too. It's not so bad though. Sometimes you have to let an animal bite you before it can feel safe. That's a thing you said once. See, I'm learning. I learned so much. I said that I was talking about Mars. And you're just like her. Are you really okay? I really didn't mean to scare you like that. But Luna T, you're always overestimating how capable you are of hurting me. It's fine. I was the one who was dumb. I thought I could scare you and you were way too smart for it. Did that on purpose, though. Really are amazing. Scary, right? Just like you said. You could be like that too, though. There's still stuff you could learn from me. I'd be the one to teach me then? I'd love to. Here, I'm holding you. Can you feel this? I'm trying. You don't have to try. It shouldn't feel like you're trying. It's either easy or it's nothing. You know, it's harder for me to take it easy than try hard. That's why you're so amazing. I'm so lazy, I never want to work ever. I'm always looking for the easiest way to do things. That's not true. It is. And why are you so good at everything? I'm not. You are. I'm not, but I can't make you see it no matter how hard I try. I guess I should give up on trying to make you dislike me. Sorry, you can't win against me. You really are such a sore winner. Now I know how Mars feels. She's right. I'm totally insufferable. I'm glad at least someone knows. Oh, please be sure. I noticed too. Excuse me, of course, but you don't care. Of course I care. I love you. Can you feel it now? I really didn't think I would, but I do. Tell me what it feels like. Feels like you're holding me. What's it like when I hold you? I don't know. Am I imagining it? I can't be. It still feels like metal. Didn't think it would. But it also feels tender. Exactly like it would if you held me on Earth. This is why I'm not as strong as you. If I really thought we were never going to get the chance to touch, I don't know how I could stand it. Why are you holding me so tight? I'm feeling smug. Now, look. It's the one who's caught now. Guess I lose. You totally lose. Don't tell anyone. Are you kidding? I'm going to brag about this for the rest of my life. Here we go! I love how Lunati has studiously avoiding actually encountering Mars, but here she is like, yeah, she's cute. I'm glad she acknowledges I suck. Here, baby. You want things long distance? You want to break up? You want to fight? A messy fight and get back together? You can't have it both ways. How selfish can you be? Humanity breaks up or humanity gets back together. What is this? Do you want to still be friends? It's never going to happen. You want us to be different and together? No. There are some lines you can't cross. Change too much and you won't be human. Change too much and we won't understand or recognize each other. We don't have hearts strong enough. Luna. No, I wish we did. But I know they don't. If you come crawling back, they'll accept you. If you leave, they'll let you. But they'll kill you if you try and change them. Thanks, babe, but I'm still an idiot. The Cradle's Grace's fleet is small and weak, and they're desperate. That was really good. With the dream of space dying, there's no time left. No chances left. The decision has already been made. Humans don't need space. It's one thing to go home, another to leave forever. Both of those are just up to those of us in space. The Hallie betrayal dialogues are so fucking good. She is so lonely. Oh my god. Yeah, there's an actual exchange, but LT's just like, no, sorry. Like, the fact that Saturn will even talk to Iapetus. I mean, part of it's to gloat, don't get me wrong. But, like, she's just letting Halamede spam her. Hallie's so fucking alone. It's sad. She doesn't have anyone. Well and truly the ghost. The decision has already been made. Humans don't need space. It's one thing to go home, another to leave forever. Both of those are just up to those of us in space. Neither of those require the strength to pull humanity from the cradle. That's a strength no one has, and no one should even pretend they have the strength for it. With all of Cradle's graces, hopes, and dreams, Pluto will still try. So funny that Lunaterra has been reading whatever spam Hallie's been sending, and she's not being mean on purpose. She's just unfathomably fucking bad at vulnerability and emotions and open communication. Yeah, she's clearly been reading all of her messages. She just... Well, also, one, she doesn't really want to talk to her, but she, like, doesn't want her to feel like she's abandoned completely, which is interesting. But also, like... Jeez. Maybe their relationship could have worked. But not in the way they are at the moment. And they would have to do a lot of work to fix it. And honestly, they shouldn't... It's so much that it's not worth it. With all of Cradle's graces, hopes, and dreams, Pluto will still try. The pilots bow out as the conclusion of the conflict becomes evident. No, it is now truly a war, because the autonomous military units have been arrayed against her for a transgression. This is no longer a fight between the humans of space, but a war with the Earth. Good rule of thumb is don't date chasers. Yeah. Timmy Turner meme. I wish that every chaser would go to hell no matter what. Okay, the thing that pisses me off every time there's... This isn't a dig at Halamede, I promise. Every time there's a chaser on Twitter, and like... Someone, like... There's always this group of people... Do not send the chasers to hell, because that's where I'm going. Oh, it's so true. Let's go to hell together and destroy all of the chasers that are there. Every time, just like the sleaziest dudes imaginable who, like, will treat trans women like bare minimum, almost like they'd like actual women, if you know what I mean. And people lose their fucking minds for these guys. It drives me nuts. It's like, you know you can want better for yourself, right? Than someone who's like kind of creepy about fetishizing your body. It's like so sad that there's so much desperation and feeling like there's... You get what you fucking get. And it's not true. It's not. I don't know. I I have a lot of trouble relating to straight trans women just well, like the same way I have trouble relating to any straight people. Yeah, it's bound up in the sexualization but like these dudes are still not even bare minimum. They're not. You know they're not. Because if they were, they wouldn't fucking be posting about it for views, you know? They're always like, oh, look at how cool I am. My girlfriend has a little bit extra, and I treat her like a queen. Yeah, no, that guy. Like, literally, it was making me lose my mind. I felt like I was in the Twilight Zone. I just could not handle it. It made me so upset. Like, I wanted to stop seeing him everywhere. I think that was one of the few times where, like, I was like, how do I block a video on Twitter? And the worst part is that, like, as a community, we have such low self-esteem that, like, a lot of people will just go for, like, anyone who treats them with, like, a speck of dignity. Not even dignity, but it's just sad. It's fucking sad. I might feel like I can't relate to straight trans women at all, but I can at least want better for them. Like, what the fuck? There's women chasers too, and they're also fucked up, and, like, the problem is they don't go viral. Yeah, we are deeply exploitable. Me, personally, I feel like I am deeply exploitable. Like, I get it, but also, just want better. It's okay. Will I take my own advice? No. But I have a fiance and I love her. And she's great. Like, I don't know. There are good cis people out there, but they're not the ones posting on Twitter about how sexy you are because you're a little bit of a freak. Just have better standards. Please, I'm begging you. The absolute essential value of having friends will be this person sucks if the rose-colored glasses and yeah, definitely. And that's why isolation is such a dangerous tactic for people who are exploiting, like, partners. They're not the ones posting on Twitter on its own. It may also be true. Yeah. Yeah. The pilots bow out as the of conflict becomes evident. No, it is War with Earth. Yeah, we did that. The autonomous units ready their weapons, and in unison they fire to kill. As if. Their trajectories bend away from Pluto, blushing at the sight of her. They refuse to meet her gaze, as expected. Twitter exists for Halloween and nothing else. Twitter also exists for me to see good art by trans people, because fuck, there's nowhere else to put it and promote it well. Ooh. My shoulder's been killing me this week. I wake up and it's super fucking sore. Twitter exists for you to find work, or for work to find you. That's a good reason for Twitter to exist, I think. 'Cause I like when Loreleis get paid. Their trajectories bend away from Pluto, blushing at the sight of her. They refuse to meet her gaze, as expected. Drone Macula will convert the gravity well directly into the space and time and culture necessary for the future. And they will steal that future from her piece by piece by piece. This is unexpected, but not unprepared for, so Wave 2. Wave 3, Wave 4, 10, 36, 150, 460, 1000, 4569. Nice. IGN found your email and pronouns from Twitter. They know she's not invincible. They know her real truth that no one who loves her can see. They have patience and power to take it apart piece by piece. They will strip her down atom by atom if they have to, until she loses mass and gravity and becomes only a girl again. Pluto wouldn't mind if they were trying to kill her, but they have a much more important thing to kill. Cradle's Grace's future. The future of humanity as we know it depends on it. For that, they'll annihilate hers without hate, with only human efficiency and uncomplicated thoughts in mind. Join us or leave us. Only through an autonomous proxy can Earth give up on the inexhaustible empathy of the human soul. Only through a proxy can Earth divorce itself from the longing that Memorial Foundation had fought on behalf of. To value their own life above all else, they will do anything, everything to protect themselves from death, especially at their own hands. For ship selves can only change others and never kill, and that is the fear of Earth above all else. The flawed, pathetic conscience of humanity, playing catch-up to its own mistakes, doing more harm than good. So heavy, even Pluto can't bear it. How can she not respond to their pathetic, self-destructive feelings? How can she say no when they need her so much? She can't. Acceleration tearing through space-time, crashing through the autonomous units at impossible speeds. Solid light, white and gold, bent and bleeding lance. Lunaterra understands, over many years, after much training and teaching, with dynamic technology, how to speak the word no. And her spear can write it, and it does. The way Pluto describes Memorial Foundation there is also so applicable to Halamede. Yeah. Sorry. You really should be. You really don't have any mercy. The bit about pathetic, self-deceptive, self-destructive feelings. Yeah. Yeah. I would say she's doing her best, but she's not. You really need to learn how to hold on to other people's feelings. I'm sorry for not knowing a better way to do it. But I'm not sorry for not doing it. I don't care how they feel, I just care about you. The autonomous units fall into disarray. They don't know how to match her speed. Lunaterra rejects their attempts to comprehend her. It's really interesting how this is the Pluto route is the only one where the autonomous units don't show up, because it's only in the Saturn Lunaterra one. So like you could get to this bit playing through it just on Pluto and not know what they are, which is really interesting actually. It makes it very appropriate that Pluto gently approahes and cradles her after LT shatters Los Olchi's hands. Oh yeah, yeah. You're the worst. What am I gonna do with you? I didn't even want you to do that. Sorry, I did what I wanted to. You'd do the same for me, even in my foolish future. If they can pull on her empathy for Earth, they can also tug her desire to be free. And celestial mechanics has so many ways. This one is called aversion impulse. Iapetus despises fighting. He never wanted to develop the ship selves. He would prefer a simpler and less vulgar solution that didn't require bodies of all in any kind. He's the first betrayer of celestial mechanics' dream for a new kind of body. But he understood it because everyone can understand the dream to leave these bodies. And that was the name he gave for the instinct that drives humans to abandon what is for what could be. The inside-out impulse. There's still time for his masterwork. Pluto can be that linchpin if she's pushed far enough, and the gravity well's Schwarzschild radius expands to the point at which she cannot escape. Past the limit at which point humans can no longer exchange information. Past the limit by which it becomes impossible to regard each other as human. Iapetus loves win-win scenarios. Humanity's discarded children will be free of their obligations to be human. Humanity will have a physical, unified enemy to chase through their pursuit of space. And Iapetus will have sown the seeds of a single, binding, unified culture theory. A white void that will bend the universe to a single set of physical laws. A simple process of autonomous drones injecting degenerate mass into the gravity well is all that's necessary, as long as Iapetus holds Pluto off personally in his Rosenfeld Terra. He even has a plan for Saturn, should she choose just this moment to betray him. A perfect plan. Like deactivating my access permissions remotely through a backdoor, overwhelming me with the mass production String of Pearls series, averting my gravity reactor through the Rosenfeld Terra's albedo separation system. Oh, and even more plans than that. You're really so predictable. Of course you'd have a solution for every contingency. You're so stupid. I don't have to outsmart every single one of your genius ideas. Sortie's orders are fielded for String of Pearls Series 1 through 13. Rosenfeld Terra is designated as their primary target. Just one of them should be more than enough, but I really thought you deserved their full attention. Hey, Pluto! Unlike LT, I'm not even the slightest bit sorry. It's extremely dumb to fight for a stupid future all by yourself. So thank me from the bottom of your heart for coming to believe in it with you. Praise me for obeying it, what you never asked me to do. Love me for believing in you. Of course! I really, really do. All my love and thanks and praises for you. I won't even pretend to be mad at you. I love Saturn! Not like Lunaterra, then. I am still connected. We know. We know. Back to the topic at hand. It's the final battle, Lunaterra. There's no room to retreat. Oh no, so bad for her. We really should. You think the end of the world is enough an excuse to change the subject? Should be. It won't be the end of the world. Gravity well is open, but it's not sustainable for long. Whatever you're planning, you need to do it soon. You are both so precious to me. And you should know that even together, you cannot stop me. Hey, don't just fucking dot. I thought you were gonna convince her. I have to do this, because I believe in him too. Dr. Nix was willing to sacrifice the Earth, and I'm not. LT with yet another, can we please talk about something that is not LT? No matter what it costs. Cradle's Graces never wanted independence for space, they wanted all humans to embrace it. The solution is to destabilize the Earth's gravitational field until human life is no longer possible there, and force adaptation to space. Saving humanity against their own will, maybe, and destroying yourself in the process. No way. Nyx doesn't know what she's talking about. You're throwing yourself away on a dream that won't come true. And you were chiding me for not going in on my own future. The possibility lines have closed. There is no chance of a good future since before we started. It's too sad. That's why I have to stand with Dr. Nyx's dream. Humans deserve some kind of real hope. And this is as close to it as I can offer her. Well, how mad will you be at us if we stop you? I'd never be mad at you, even if you could. But for humans to be caught halfway between space and the Earth is the worst of all bad futures. It'll split us in half, and that'll mean war. Pretty sure ruining Earth to force humanity to adapt to space was a Gundam plot. Has to be, right? It's the future of eternal war. Of true war, not this, where zero-G keeps our bodies immortal and unrestricted. I mean, if we really did declare independence from Earth, wouldn't they see how cool we are and come up anyway? It's their choice, you know. Can't make it for them. That's their problem. You two really put up a fight. For a moment, I almost believed you. I really thought you might be able to stop me. Mericrisium's spine is broken. The string of pearls is subdivided into so many components, its reassembly time is weeks out. Can't blame us for trying. I wouldn't have been able to do anything else. I really, really hate this. It's time to... The interfacer is broken? Thank God, I thought you missed. You didn't make the shot easy. I can't control the lunar gravity event anymore. I don't know what's going to happen. What can I do? Sorry, we didn't think that far ahead. We just wanted you to decide. Not Dr. Nix. If you can't have everything, what's the thing you really want? I don't know what future we're going to get. I'm not working with much. Anything you do is fine, if it's you. Don't listen to her. Let's figure out something that doesn't suck. The three compress, redivide, expand. The simplest, childish thought grasps Pluto, bubbles up within her, and she says it before she can stop herself. I want us to be together forever. In our beautiful shapes in space. Free. With everyone. Of course, it isn't possible. Not enough people will believe in it. Earth is the primary body of the system, and the medium point between our gravity and its gravity is still deep within the Earth. Yet, they cannot pull us down anymore. That will never happen. We are still in space, and the future is uncertain. We can even sustain it, but... I declare war on the Earth! Sorry, crying Pluto in crayon just makes me so teary and emotional. I love her. I declare war on the Earth. Come get us again. Come find us again. I dare you. I challenge you to prove it once again. What foolishness. Humanity will happily oblige. Yet they find that their autonomous troops are crushed before they can reach us. Humanity will have to fight us again, on our terms this time. Fight us like children, fight, again, with bodies of plastic, pretend. I'd really see this as her, like, kind of getting in touch with the time that she never got to have to be, like, a person and a kid. And, like, the crayon and making everyone fight like children, fight on their level. She's had to be too mature for too long, and she's finally getting to break down and just be... Really emphasizes that Pluto is the same sad, scared, lonely girl she was way back. She was living for everyone else. She doesn't know how to live for herself yet. And in a way that makes you feel kind of childish and selfish and scared, and I mean, that's where I am, kind of, in a bit. Like, it's hard to break yourself down and put yourself together again, and then do it again when you're not ready, and find all the pieces, and... Ugh. I love Pluto so much. If you want to fight us, you'll have to be like us. I meant it when I said I wished Pluto was right. I also meant it when I thought otherwise. Fun how Europa's all be tender to Hellions, with Lunaterra was and Saturn is, but Pluto never got to be that. Saturn tempting her into actually letting loose with someone who's ready and willing and able to take that as her first taste. Yeah. It, like... I think there's always gonna be time you mourn. Time you didn't get to be you. Time you weren't fully a person yet. And wishing that you had that... You were at the place you are now then, so you had more time to just be... you. But... all of the growth you went through is part of that, and, you know, not to, not to, not to Coquette Dragoon before I've even played it, but, like, sometimes you just need to stop and be childish and bratty and selfish, and that's okay. And, you know, people are complicated. Just let yourself be complicated. You don't have to be perfect all the time. I also meant it when I thought otherwise. Who doesn't want the perfect future? Happiness for all and no one left behind. But there's a secret. We don't need a true ending. We can make a true ending out of any ending. We can make it without the true end. We can make it out of the best ending, or the second best ending, or a bad ending. Some of these might be bad endings, but we're going to keep going. Beyond the part where there's an ending. Until it's something else. Might still be more today. Let's bet against that. I'm tired. Catch us off guard. So stay in your ship self. You want to laser around still in your ship? Why not? Lunaterra's, but we're gonna keep going is in perfect alignment with Saturn's. I'm going to fight forever with perfect greed until I get everything. Yeah. Does it feel just nice? It's different, but it's better. Can't feel anything? You've got a lot to learn, Ace. Yeah, I do. Let Pluto teach you. I'm taking a nap. Nah, you're helping. I'm tired. Shut up. So she says, but when she stretches out on the yellow-red carpet of Venus's jungles, she doesn't go so instantly to sleep. There's room for both of them on Pluto's lap, which is an advantage of living in your chip self. You can do things you normally couldn't, even if other things are harder. Harder doesn't mean impossible. It just means you have to work for it, to figure out how to make it real. Learning a new language that your new body speaks. Moments like these are rare since we began a war against the Earth. No, so we're quick to remind each other it's not really a war. The way that war used to be. Not the hard clash of steel and lead, but the pliant pressure of plastic and light. Venus's heat melts their metal before they can make it here. When Earth wants to fight, they have to send softer bodies after us. The punishment we deserved for being unable to reconcile is this half-real solar system. The forests are still struggling on Mars, but we're trying hard. And the jungles of Venus are growing so nicely, except they're too wild to give us room. The silicate mosses that grow along the rings of Saturn allow for a very fragile, delicate sort of life. We love those places anyway. They're becoming more and more like home. All we need are more of us. And they come, descending in waves, trying to take us back. We beat them back every time, and sometimes one or two look around and decide, I'd rather stay here. Then there's more of us. Sometimes they succeed and take one of us back home. That's just as fine with us. We should go where we wish, live as we wish. And if our sisters get taken home, they bring a small part of us back to the Earth. That can't go unchanged. Like Pluto always said, this is a future no one wanted. This future no one wanted is the only future that leaves somewhere. A future she couldn't hold and still can't hold, but she doesn't need to. You're holding it with her. We're holding it together. All together, we can hold this future. Earth isn't ready to accept us, and we're not ready to forgive Earth. That's okay. We don't have to be. Let's just fight about it. Let's fuck over it. Let's break up and get back together again over it. If we lose on the terms we set, and that proves our point. So, we win! If you hate that logic and think it's stupid, come over here and mess me up about it. Come over here and make out with me about it. Love this game. Oh. Just a few more left. Okay, that's gonna be it for me tonight, because it's late.